In our Sunrise Smart Start, Ukrainian officials confirm the fire at Ukraine's largest nuclear power plant has now been put out. The fire began after the Russian military attacked the site, sparking severe panic from Ukrainian officials.
We are joined by Washington correspondent Raquel Martin live in D.C. this morning. Raquel, good morning. The attack, as you know, took place after peace talks between Russian and Ukrainian officials yesterday. In light of that, can we expect any further talks?
Good morning. Well, the president of Ukraine has not mentioned any further peace talks. We know that yesterday they were able to come to an agreement to allow humanitarian assistance and allow more Ukrainians to evacuate without being harmed by the Russian military. But at this point, it's unclear exactly how this will change things moving forward. We know the president of Ukraine yesterday putting out a plea to the entire world to intensify its pressure campaign on Putin after that attack.
And Raquel, how about President Biden? What is he saying about these developments?
Well, we know the White House did confirm that President Biden did hold a phone call with the president of Ukraine last night where he urged for this fire at this plant to be taken out. And we, of course, know that was extinguished. But U.S. officials called the attack completely reckless and are insisting that this situation de-escalate.
All right, Raquel, thank you so much for your updates this morning. The UN Human Rights Office said at least 227 civilians have been killed. 525 people have been wounded in Ukraine since the start of the invasion on February 24th. Though it was acknowledged, that is a vast undercount. New this morning, a police presence overnight at an apartment complex in Irondequoit.
Police responding to Strathmore Circle around 11:30 last night for the report of shots fired. Officers there tell us they found evidence of a shooting, but no one struck. Details still limited this morning. We'll keep you updated as new information comes in.
Drivers' pockets have been hurting at the fuel pump, and the intensifying conflict with Ukraine is only leading to higher prices. New information this morning, the average price for a gallon of gas in New York now over $4 per gallon, jumping 12 cents just overnight. Many around the area are voicing their displeasure.
It makes me so sad, and I travel for work too, so it's been crazy. Yeah. It used to be like $30, now it's over $50 to fill my tank.
I think it's disgusting, and I think the state of the world is just disgusting right now, and I think it's really sad. Luckily, I'm able to afford $4 a gallon.
A couple of years ago, it was down near $2 a gallon, and now, I mean, it's over $4. It's insane.
For the latest on gas prices, you can find those on our News 8 app that is free to download on your iPhone or Android devices.
Well, police investigating a series of scary incidents at a home on Park Avenue in Rochester. These images released by police to help identify the man involved. The couple living there says starting last March, someone has been showing up at their home to cause damage or terrorize them. One time, they say, he painted threatening messages on their driveway. They say he recently showed up with a knife when they weren't home.
With last night, I've only had 2 hours of sleep. It was a windy night, and everything sounds ominous, and so no, it has not been at all peaceful. I mean, I'm afraid that I've lost my friends because we don't have time for our friends because we have to be back home, between certain hours.
And the couple also telling us their Yorkie was injured by this perpetrator as well.
3 people were rescued from a house fire yesterday in Rochester. The blaze starting around 1 p.m. on Lyle Avenue. Fire officials say one person was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation, adding that the fire was under control by 2. Authorities say the fire started in a room on the first floor that had hoarding-like conditions. A firefighter is also being treated for a hand laceration from the incident. An investigation currently ongoing.
All right, James Gilbert with us. James, a brisk walk this morning in more ways than one. Yeah,
certainly bundling up an extra layer, I think, this morning. But no real icy spots, which is good. Generally, everything's so frozen over that hopefully it melted and then disappeared. So shouldn't be too icy underfoot. We'll call it mostly cloudy. A couple of flakes around north of Rochester along Lake Ontario. Those towns could see a few lake effect snow showers, but otherwise we'll clear out and get a lot of sun as we get through this afternoon. Our average high now should be hitting, well, it is 40 degrees, so that's where we quote-unquote should be. We'll be below that number today, but certainly surging. Weekend forecast at the end of the show. Mark?
We'll savor the sun in the meantime as well, James. Thank you. Checking the roads with our sunrise traffic. The story is the same from just a couple of minutes ago. Light volume along 390. No accidents there or on 490 or 590 at last check. Should be a smooth ride as you head out the door. In national news, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says, telling lawmakers on Capitol Hill the Federal Reserve still plans to begin a series of interest rate hikes this month as it tries to rein in soaring inflation. Powell's testimony coming as the national average for a gallon of gas is nearly $1 higher than it was a year ago at this time, according to AAA. A recent federal data shows used car prices are up more than 40%, eggs 13%, and electricity almost 11%.
Inflation is too high. We understand that, and we're working on it. What we're facing now is, though, an elevated level of demand in the face of supply-side constraints, and it's the collision of those two things that's creating inflation.
Powell also saying the Fed will be closely monitoring the crisis in Ukraine and will proceed carefully. CBS's Jill Schlesinger says the Fed is walking a fine line here.
If the war in Ukraine continues and oil prices remain high, the Fed may have to raise rates more quickly. If they don't raise rates quickly enough, then inflation can continue to rise. And conversely, if they really start raising rates too quickly, then they risk really puncturing the hole in this beautiful economy.
The Fed says the rate hike is expected in 2 weeks at the next Fed meeting.
38.2 million viewers tuned in for President Biden's State of the Union address. That surpasses the just over 37 million viewers for Donald Trump's last address in 2020, but fell short of the well over 45 million who tuned in for Trump's first State of the Union speech in 2018. Nielsen says the important thing to note is this year's tally includes viewership from streaming devices such as Apple TV.
Brett Hankinson, a former Kentucky police officer, was found not guilty Thursday. He was charged with endangering neighbors the night he fired into Breonna Taylor's apartment during a botched drug raid, resulting in Taylor's death. None of the officers involved in that March 2020 raid were charged with Taylor's death, and Hankinson did not fire any of the bullets that ultimately killed the 26-year-old black woman. His acquittal likely closing the door on the possibility of state criminal charges against any of the officers involved in that fatal raid.
President Biden calling on Congress to pass a multi-billion-dollar aid package for Ukraine. It would include money for humanitarian needs as well as assistance with cybersecurity infrastructure. Some lawmakers believe the package should include a direct contribution of weapons to better supply Ukrainian forces. Senate Majority Leader and New York Senator Chuck Schumer speaking this week on the message he hopes the package will send to those involved.
Send an unmistakable signal to Ukraine that we stand with them, and to Putin that we stand against him.
Other lawmakers say the package should include more support for NATO allies like Poland, which shares a border with Ukraine. Top U.S. officials warn Russian aggression will likely escalate in the coming days.
New York State working to limit the flow of cryptocurrency from the state to Russian entities. This is their latest attempt to cut business ties with the country. Monday, Governor Hochul announced that New York would stop doing business with Russian entities. This week, Comptroller Tom DiNapoli said that work is underway to stop all new investments with Russian companies as well. Here's what some folks will be talking about at the water cooler on this Friday morning. Looking ahead to tonight and the weekend, DC Comics releasing its latest superhero movie today, The Batman. Gotham's favorite superhero returning in another film, played this time by Robert Pattinson. In pre-release showings, The Batman has received an 87% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes and scored a 72 out of 100 by Metacritic.
Super excited to see it.
People seem to like it. Looks kind of dark. I've seen the commercials for it, right? Kind of a dark take on the Batman.
Well, the last time he was, in something huge, I feel like, was Twilight, where he was the vampire. So it'll be interesting to see Robert play this role.
Yeah. Been a long time between those roles.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been in much more, but that was what he was known for. So,
sure. Been a long time since we've seen the 60s, James, but you've got that dialed up this weekend.
Yes, I do. Yeah, we'll get through today. Enjoy the sun. Not a bad bus stop forecast here. Mostly sunny on the way back home. Then if we're heading to the movies, this is what we've got this weekend. Saturday, we've got 30s and 40s, isolated rain shower. Then the wind sends us into the 60s on Sunday.
All right, James, thank you so much, and thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.
CBS Mornings is up next.